Well, Justin, it seems like we gather around this old tank this time every year.
Guaranteed. Well, that's because Saturday is like Christmas Day.
It is.
It's opening day of Blue Wings here in Louisiana. So, I'm ready. I don't know about you.
Well, I can't say that I'm ready, but I'm going. But, blue wing teal hunting seems to get bigger every year. I'm talking about the early blue wing teal season. You can shoot any kind of teal that you want. All three of the teal, we don't have the cinnamon here, so we're not going to shoot those, But, it comes in the month of September.
That's nice. Yeah, I think it's gathered a lot of popularity because teal hunting, unlike regular duck hunting, it's probably the cheapest way to go duck hunting because you can use the stuff you already got. You can, it doesn't. A blue wing teal ain't very slick. I mean, he's right there on the dumber end of the duck spectrum.
Dang, I thought I was a duck hunter.
You are
telling me I'm not?
No, I've seen you kill mallards.
I decoy the blue wing teal. But you can take a kid, a woman, child, girlfriend, wife, anything you want to do because, like you say, you ain't got to do a whole lot of work to do it. It's not going to last but a couple hours in the morning.
Yep.
You have to be there at first light. That's the one mistake you can't make. Don't show up after first light for a blue wing teal hunt.
And generally, the weather's pretty good.
That's right.
It's warm. September. The mosquitoes are kind of a bummer. Cottonmouths, you kind of just got to make peace with them. Alligators, don't worry about them lizards. They'll be all right. They'll take a couple of ducks from you, but overall, that's why we don't take dogs during teal season. So you got snake bites and alligator victims, and we just soon go out there, walk out there, and get them ourselves.
All attracted to splashing water.
Splashing water.
So
that's what your dog splashes
out there. It's bad enough that we have to splash out there. But anyway, it's a great sport for those people that hadn't tried it. They ought to try it. But we like you. We rigged up for Saturday morning. We're ready to go. We got our place set up. We got our blinds out there. We got our decoys in the blind. We don't put them out till we get there to hunt. We got them in the blind.
And the biggest thing for September, like we've talked about in the past, and we're gonna hit on it again, motion. Early September, mid-September, it's the month with no wind, none. It never blows first thing in the morning.
Except when we film it.
Yeah, it blows right now.
When
it gets hot in the evening, you get them thermal winds picking up. So that's why we have all manners of ripplers out during teal season. Now, I know he's not a blue wing teal. I know he's a mallard drake. But you remember what I said about them teal. They ain't necessarily the slickest animal in the bunch anyway. They look down there and see. That's all they need to see right there, them ripples.
2 or 3 dozen ducks sitting still on the still water does not replicate any kind of duck movement.
That's exactly right.
You got to have something. And when ducks move, they move the water. You got to have something to do.
A duck will never sit completely still while floating on the water. He's always going to be pedaling, paddling. My favorite ones to use for teal season are actually the butt up ripplers because of the white shining straight up, easy for ducks to see from a distance. Like you talked about, a lot of times everything happens in low light, so the brighter you can be between these ripplers, the butt up ripplers, and the MOJO Elite Blue Wings, as much flash and commotion as you can make for a blue wing. And he's like, boy, there's a party over there. Now, the only problem with that, them woodies like that party too, so you better be careful on your duck ID. Them woodies like a lot of splashing and moving and shaking too. So.
Last weekend I saw more woodies in our duck hole than I'm accustomed to seeing this time of year.
But you can see with just 4 things going in this pool, just how many ripples they put off. So when you get out there and you spread, you just strategically place them in different spots and your whole spread will be moving. You got your spinners if you want to, you got jerk strings, you can do whatever you need to do. But the biggest thing is blue wings are also world famous for flying real low. So a lot of times they'll just slip in there on you while you're sitting there talking, drinking coffee, drinking water, whatever. So these guys are always working for you. That's where they beat the heck out of a jerk string. These are always working. You don't have to worry about it.
Absolutely. Let me show you something new for this year. It's that's a coot, which is not a duck. But coots make great confidence decoys because if you ever hunt around coots in the water, whatever it is, if there's anything suspicious, they just swim off. They don't fly unless you really scare them. Then they won't fly very high, but they just swim off. So if coots are sitting around a spot, there's nothing suspicious going on in that spot. So this year we got a coot package. It's 2 coot ripplers and 2 coot four coot static decoys for a half a dozen. You put them out in your spread, maybe on the point out on the end or somewhere like that, or all 4 to the side where they're highly visible. It tells ducks, this spot's okay, come on in.
And just like we were talking about on the white of those butts, from a distance, if you go and look, if you ever just fly, look down on stuff, the first color you see when you find a bunch of ducks is black. So that's why a black decoy. I mean, it just helps you out. All them old Cajuns been doing it for years.
Yeah, milk jugs, black milk jugs.
Coke bottles, milk jugs, and they leave that white screw-in cap on it because, well, what color's a coot's bill? It's next to white. So,
oh, absolutely, absolutely. You know. It's really famous on big water, Catahoula Lake, Marsh, Real Foot Lake, stuff like that. They use them big old jugs, paint them black. You know,
yep.
attracts ducks over there. So, anyway, blue wing teal hunting is it's our first chance to hunt ducks this far south. It's September. We won't hunt ducks again when this is over with till late November. Mm-hmm. So we're gonna get to go duck hunting. Let's talk a minute about where we go blue wing teal hunting. On our farm, we have a shallow water reservoir that we manage for waterfowl, and we just pump the very basic about 75 or 80 acres of water up. Yeah. But we manage it to grow more soil plants in that water. Yep. Blue wing teal like what for habitat?
He loves grasses. He loves like any kind of little algae. This time of year, what everybody got to remember, when they get down here, they don't need high carb. They don't need, all they're doing is trying to bulk up, a lot of protein. So bugs, love bugs. They eat grass, shrimp, them little snails. If you clean them, you get to looking in there and you're like, man, okay, yeah, you're a bug eater. I like it, you know. So
all kind of invertebrate type creatures, you know, which hatch out in grass and water, yeah. You know, or leaf mass in water, something like yeah. That's what hatches out in invertebrates. So if you got something like that, now they will come to open water.
They do.
But that's usually a little later in the morning when they do that, you know. Or when they've been stirred up and they're looking for safe refuge or something like that. But, you know, typically shallow water with grass seed in it, or biomass that'll make invertebrates. Mm-hmm. I know y'all got some places just like that.
Yeah, we got the same kind of stuff. We moist soil manage. We also have a couple of cut rice fields we put water on, which same deal. Cut rice field this time of year is still green. A lot of bugs, a lot of inverts, I mean, they will eat some of the rice, but most of it they're just in there eating bugs. So their diet changes as the year goes on. As we get into winter, you know, it's more starches and bulking up for winter and going back home. But this time of year they still putting on feathers. I mean, some of them you kill barely bigger than your hand. They ain't about 3-4 months old. So.
You know, an interesting statistic is the first wave of blue wing teal that come are the males. Mm-hmm. You know, they through with the breeding grounds. You know, they don't have to tend to the babies, so they come first. The second wave is more like the aged hens that had to hatch first. Yep. And another wave that comes through with them. The third one is maybe the younger hens or one that just didn't get but a late hatch and their juveniles wasn't ready to fly and migrate by the time that they left. So you're constantly getting a supply of them, and it can be feast or famine, because you go down one day and there's no blue wing teal around because that group is left. Yep. You go back the next day and they're just everywhere because the new group came in. So.
And it's amazing, if you stop and look, like when you kill them, it's amazing how many more drakes you kill than hens during blue wing season, even though most people can't tell it. But you can look on their wings and tell the difference. Right. And I swear it's because that brighter blue catches your attention whenever you pull up your shotgun. You're like, oh yeah, bonk. I mean, so it's funny how all that works.
Absolutely. It's not hard to identify blue wing teal flying, but you know, I don't know if you got blue wing season in your area or not. Some states have it, some states do not. It's going to be in the month of September no matter what state you're in. Actually, like right now, our season opens Saturday. That's going to be September the 12th. Our buddy Steve Biggers in El Campo, Texas, he opens in. Mm-hmm. Kansas opens on the same day. So you can see how far a geographic area that they're hunting blue wing teal on exactly the same date. So they're scattered all up and down the flyway.
Everywhere. And this first big cold front, if you've been watching the weather, everybody I've been talking to, it's moved a lot of them. So we
dropped 60 degrees 24 hours in Denver, Colorado.
I'm looking forward to it. You can't do it but 16 days.
That's right. So 16 days, that's all you can do. 2 weeks and 3 weekends. You know, if you got blue wing teal season in your area, you can find a place to hunt. It'd be one of the funnest hunts you ever went on. So take a look for it.